the Central Coast. Thanks for joining us. If you're here for the first time, you're listening to Living the Run on ESPN 1280, The Ticket, where we talk everything health and fitness. I'm your host, Rex Stevens, in studio producer Max Woodcock, Olympian Paul Tarek. Paul, great day to take a run out on the Cal Poly track and forget your shoes. That's what I did today. It was a tremendous deal in my socks out there, having a good time, living the run.
You went in socks?
I went in socks.
They were just talking, I think it was 93.3 this morning. They were just talking about athletes kind of going the extra mile. One basketball player had lost a tooth and then went back in the game, and they were just talking about it. You have a story to call in and tell them how you left your shoes, and then not the extra mile, you went every mile, sans shoes. Every
mile, socks only. I went there, got to the track. Rubberized track felt better. Grass felt pretty good. Concrete, I made it. They talk about this barefoot running. I'm going sock running. It's a new deal.
It's like, you're stepping into it. You don't want to dive in head first. You kind of ease into the pool, shallow in first.
Hey, it worked great. Hey, coming off a big SLO Marathon, huge success, SLO Marathon and Half Marathon 2013, doubled the participants. Big deal. The wind kind of stayed away for most of it. Fun environment. Big time stuff. That's what this show is about today. We got Sarah DeGeorge coming on, female winner, and it is true, Paul. You just saw it. She had a baby 11 months ago, comes out and wins the SLO Marathon in a really great time. Couldn't get the male winner, but we do have another local. Tara Dube from Runner's Warehouse took second place in the 50-miler up in the American River. A lot of good stuff happening. A lot of people living the run, taking health and fitness to the next level.
I don't know. You had the opportunity to run the marathon here on the Central Coast. Only 26 miles. Why go up north? Why go run the 50-miler?
Hey, 26 miles is only halfway. They hit the 26-mile mark.
She's just warmed up. She's just getting into her speed legs at that point. Oh, okay.
She is, but excited to talk to Sarah. This is a great story. Two new winners. Tough stuff. We had Karin Serba last year on, female winner of the first one. Van McCarty, male winner. Both of them injured. Both of them hurt. We saw Van actually on Monday.
I just saw Van like 15 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. Saw Van on Monday. He's trying to nurse that hamstring. I saw Karin at the race. They'll be back next year to compete. But, interesting thing, when you looked at the times of Karin and Van from last year, very similar to the times of Joe and Sarah this year. So it would have been a tight epic battle. I'm hoping for a good one that following year.
Yeah, it was, now it's a Boston qualifier. I was thinking it was going to be a little faster. Do you think the winds played some sort of, well, I guess we'll have to ask her when she comes on if the winds played a role in that.
Yeah, we will. And, sometimes it's tough, too. And we talked to Van. Van didn't seem like he thought much happens when you don't have a lot of competition up there. But some runners definitely do slow it down. You've seen that in the track world a lot, where if it's not super competitive towards the end of the race, the pace slows down and somebody cruises in. And that happens as well. So I'm not sure what happened in this race. We'll talk to Sarah in just moments.
Well, they do have specific rules in track and field regarding rabbits and pace setters in races. So that having somebody run ahead of you and kind of keeping you on time or pushing you is going to help out. It may not affect him, but I think for the general public, running in a group, running at a faster pace with other people it's easier to run at a faster pace with other people.
Yeah, no question. We'll touch in with Virginia from Vert Foods here in just a little bit as well. I know she's got a big event happening this weekend, so if you don't have anything going this weekend, big 5-course meal, I believe. They're going to have music, dance, some good stuff. And if you haven't got in with Virginia's food, we have, and we like it. This is epic stuff. We're going to try an appetizer in just a few minutes from that, but she's got some tremendous entrees. She's got some good desserts, it looks like, coming as well. And then we'll check in with Ryan Joyner, too. I know they got a summer program that they're wanting to promote here as well. But Paul, I just wanted to mention that I started, now we're post-marathon. I'd been kind of doing a little bit of running for that, post-half marathon. But now, you've inspired me.
How's the bench? How's your bench workout going?
I did my first bench workout this Monday. I'm coming after you, the 225 for 20. Paul Tarek's almost there. I got to get there. I think I can get there. It's going to take a little bit of diligent work. But you inspired me. Max, you won't even believe this. Paul Tarek came out to the track on Monday. Chris Randolph out there. And again, remember, Chris Randolph, 6th, 7th, 8th best decathlete in the world, in the U.S. in the last 3-4 years. Paul goes and runs with him, and Paul kind of starts to trail behind him. Paul's shoulders have gotten so big and wide, I couldn't even see Randolph. And Randolph's a 6'3", 6'4" Adonis himself. Tarek is getting massive right now.
I think it's that all the muscle in my head just went to my shoulders, and all the fat in my head just kind of melted down a little bit.
It's absolutely incredible. I don't know if I can compete, but I'm excited about changing the mode here, getting into something a little bit different, a little bit more dynamic, and changing up the training routine.
You know what's crazy about that 225 workout that we do, and it's just, really there's probably zero health benefit to it. It really, what is it? It's the bench press. Come on, it's like, unless you're a junior in high school, it's really unimportant. But there is, I thought I would be able to wreck everybody at work, and if I couldn't beat them for max weight, I could beat them for endurance. And I work with a guy, Tim Powell. This guy, not only is he incredibly smart, he wrecks me in the gym every time we go to the gym. He will 225 over 20 times. I think his best is like 26, 27. It's incredible. And he just kind of stretches his arms, swings them around a little bit, and hammers me. And everybody else, they love to see it because I think they just like watching me get beat, which,
who wouldn't? Who wouldn't like watching you get beat? Hey, looks like we got Virginia on the line here. Max, maybe we lost Virginia. I just opened up the appetizer here. Looking like some stuffed artichokes, Paul. Artichokes right up my alley, one of my favorites. Virginia's got a nice display here. Hey, Virginia, we missed you last week. I know you kind of had a little unfortunate battle with some poison oak in the wrong spots, but you're back. We're thankful. Big event this week. Talk about what's going on this weekend. Virginia. Max, this is like rookie stuff right here. This is when Max leaves, the studio, and we don't have it. This is the kind of stuff that generally happens.
This is what we expect to happen. Maybe she's just building the drama. She really wants it to sink in. Artichoke hearts and.
Hey, let me do it for Virginia. We'll get her back next week. I know we had some problems, but this Saturday, April 13th, 7:30, SLO Paladar by Vert Foods. It says, come celebrate the spring harvest, nourish your body, mind, and soul. Exclusive gourmet dinner, feast your eyes on the local art, laugh, dance the night away with special musical guests. Vert Foods doing some awesome stuff. Her menu looks epic. Bison, some different salmon.
She's got bison on her menu?
She's got bison on the menu, salmon on the menu, desserts, little artichoke hearts, all kinds of really, really good stuff, as well as good environment around. So we'll miss Virginia. Pretend like you heard her. We're going to chow down on these artichokes, and we're going to get Sarah DeGeorge back here on to interview in just a minute. Sarah, again, 11 months ago, giving birth to a child, 11 months later, coming out and winning the SLO Marathon, Paul. I mean, I saw a lot of stuff out there. Amputees, older people that are trying to get healthy again. This is as good as it gets.
It really makes you feel bad when you maybe sprained an ankle like 6 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago and you haven't got out there. 11 months, baby, train, win marathon. It's kind of like a checklist of things to do. Have the baby, 11 months now, do my training, race, win the SLO Marathon.
Hey, before we go to her, hey, it's that time again. Family Care Network's 10th annual Miracle Mile for Kids Walk, taking place April 27th, 2013. The 10K race course, again, runs along the water's edge from Morro Rock to Cayucas Pier, one of the most beautiful stretches of beach in California. Your participation in Miracle Miles for Kids helps FCNI make a difference in the lives of those it serves. Funds raised through this registration and pledging help to meet needs such as housing, clothing, mentoring, life skills development, extracurricular activities, and therapeutic services for over 1,400 children, youth, and families. Come join the 2,500 walkers, runners, family, and friends for a great walk down the beach for a great cause. Go to mm4k.com and register today. Again, April 27, 2013. When we return, Sarah DeGeorge, your female winner from the 2013 marathon, next.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
My name is Chris Randolph, and as a local track and field Olympic hopeful, I've been seeing Brian Quigley at SLO Wellness Center to help me with injury recovery during my season. Brian has not only helped me with some very extensive injuries, but has also educated me on the specifics of how my body moves when I compete. His knowledge and touch has helped me achieve personal bests in my competition and has also helped me in injury prevention. Becoming a wellness patient of his has helped me stop my injuries before they start, making time spent recovering shorter, leaving more time spent training for my goals. From injury prevention to wellness, Brian understands the patient and holistically helps them achieve their personal health-related goals. So check out Brian Quigley at peakperformanceslo.com and find him on Facebook and comment a response to this ad and get a complimentary 60-minute massage.
Tired of taking supplements when you have no idea if they're working or not? Frustrated by not feeling or seeing measurable results with your vitamins? Looking for a new job or a little extra spending money? Do you know anyone with headaches, chronic pain, inflammation, autoimmune disease, or any other malady they just can't shake? Come learn about a breakthrough product that is scientifically supported, plant-based, and is used daily all over the world to combat age-related disease. Learn how this product is the only one of its kind on the publicly traded market to address the fundamental causes of accelerated aging, otherwise known as oxidative stress. If you want to learn how to reduce inflammation, save money by eliminating 90% of your supplement regime, and provide residual income for your family, call 805-234-7816. No gimmicks, just hardcore science on free radicals, antioxidants, and oxidative stress finally being revealed accurately and honestly. Call today to find out more. That's 805-234-7816.
We're back with Living the Run.
Welcome back to Living the Run. Good stuff as always. This segment brought to you by our friends at Jaffa Cafe. Your home for the best Greek food on the Central Coast. Adnan and his guys got it going on. And actually, I should say Adnan and his gals. Mary was there today, hooked me up with the pesto burrito. Good stuff. All our guests receive $20 gift cards to the great Jaffa Cafe. So we'll get that to Sarah, and I do, and it's also brought to you. All our guests receive T-shirts from Left Coast T-shirts, and you like our T-shirts, Paul. Dave Whitaker over there at Left Coast T-shirts, soft T-shirt, beautiful stuff.
We've had some other things made by him.
Other things made by him. Tank top for our guests as well, female guests, and T-shirts for our male guests. So in studio with us right now, Paul. The rumor is true. 11 months ago, this woman had a baby. 11 months later, she's winning the SLO Marathon. Sarah DeGeorge, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, it's amazing, Paul. We were just talking to her in the break. She says that her best marathon time, 3:38, right? Shooting for a goal of 3:30, breaks 3:30. Paul, of course, says, you failed.
Yeah, I know. You did not stick on pace.
You did not stick on pace. A 3:26 on a hard course. How'd you do it?
You know what? I don't know. I just powered through it, and it's amazing what your mind can do for you. And I started out in the lead, and I was like, oh, my gosh, I think I have a chance to win this. Because everyone kept saying, you're the first female, and I'm like, I know.
She's like, the pack's coming. I'm probably way off, and then they cross the line. Okay, you've won. Wait, there's no pack. I am the lead pack.
Well, Sarah, you said that you've done 4 marathons. This is your 4th marathon, right?
Yes.
You've never been in this position before where you started off, you're leading the marathon, and you keep going and you keep leading. What is that like for you mentally as you get going? I mean, is there that thought process of, when are they coming? when am I going to hear the footsteps?
The whole time adrenaline was just pumping. She didn't have a choice. She was the gazelle. The lions were back there.
Yes.
There was absolutely those moments where I was like, okay, don't get too cocky because there could be someone right behind you. But then I remember when we did the turnaround at like the half, I saw who was behind me, and then I could feel a girl behind me for probably like 6 miles. And I'm like, this girl is just letting me pace her. But I just had a plan that I was going to keep my pace, and then at mile 20 I was just going to really go for it. So
I'm going to kick it in at mile 20. Yes. I just love that sound.
Yeah. That's not what Paul and I say.
No, I'm going to trudge home in mile 4. I'm like, throw in the towel, boys. We're done here.
Hey, Rex Stevens, Paul Tarek here on Living the Run Radio here on ESPN 1280. Our guest, Sarah DeGeorge, winner of the 2013 marathon. Paul, shoot.
I had a question. Where did you start in the pack? I mean, you didn't start in the lead, correct? I mean, it's a big conglomerate of cluster at the beginning, right?
It wasn't too bad because there was only a couple of pace groups, and I seated myself right at 3:30, and there was only another one for 3:15 right in front of me, and I just went out really hard. and I just.
I mean, were you passing? You know, you're passing other females along the way, really not realizing, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, "Hey, you're in the lead," and you're like, "Whoa."
Paul, by the look on her face, and again, for those of you, if you're going to miss any of this interview, you can check it out tomorrow, livingtherun.com or on Facebook/Living. She's showing in her face that she wasn't passing anyone. She started out in the lead. And,
pole position.
Pole position. Yeah, is that true?
It is. Well, and I had told someone at one point, because this guy, and it sounds crazy that you're talking while you're running a marathon, but this guy behind me was like, these people just said there's a chick in front of you. And he's like, I know, but she's fast. And I'm like, you have to take advantage, because I was so afraid that the wind was going to come up at any minute. I was just going as hard as I could while I could.
Then 26 miles later, she's like, I guess that's as far as I could go.
Hey, so Sarah, there's a lot of females listening to the show right now that are thinking inspiration, because here we are. Are you still nursing mom?
Yes.
Still nursing mom, 11 months post-pregnancy. When did you start training again? When did you start logging the longer miles post having that beautiful daughter of yours?
You know what? I ran a half in October. So what was that, 5 months later? So I started training for that about 3 months after having my daughter. And I did pretty good on the half. Sounds weird. But then I was like, oh, I want to do a marathon again. Because it's been 5 years since my last one. So I just started it.
Why not do it 11 months after having a baby?
5 years off. You're well rested, you know. These other people, they're suckers doing more than one a year, 2, 3.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel so lucky that I'm able to run that I just wanted to keep doing it.
Yeah, so did you didn't participate in last year's marathon, obviously. Talk about what got you to do this one, and how you approach this course differently, because certainly this course is much different than a lot of the marathons out there. A little hillier, different terrain. Talk about some of that process going in.
Well, actually, I had wanted to do the San Francisco Marathon in July, but it had moved dates and it wouldn't work out in my schedule, so I just decided I had done that half, and I'm like, oh, I'll do one in April. So
push the competition schedule up 4 months.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, I knew I had the time to train.
The story just gets better and better. It's amazing.
Is this going to be one of these ones where you kind of wake up late and you're like, oh man, it already started, and you just run to the finish, run to the start and then go?
Yeah.
It kind of feels like that. But so then I decided to do the SLO Marathon, and I looked at the course, and this is even going to sound even crazier, but I only had time to do one long run a week, pretty much, which you do one long run, but I only had time to really do one run, period, a week. I did work out every day or find a way to walk or jog with her, my daughter Summer, but I was only able to run by myself one day a week.
Hey, are you running with the stroller? Because when I found out, when I was running with the Bob stroller, yeah, it's like as soon as you get rid of the stroller, you run so much faster. Those strollers, that weight, those hills trying to push up, sometimes you're going, am I going anywhere? As soon as you make a run without it, it's incredible. It's like almost like weighted training, and then you pick up the lighter ball again, and you can really let it rip.
Definitely, I would jog with her, and then the next day I'd go out, and I'm like, oh, this feels so good.
Be a new trend sweeping the nation. Everybody's buying up jogging strollers. Like, oh, do you have a kid? It's like just sacks of flour or something in the stroller, people pushing it around.
Yeah, no question. Well, you must have stayed fit during the pregnancy, and I think that's one thing that's really tough for a lot of women is what do they do during that time when pregnant? Often, of course, the advice is do something similar to what you were doing before the pregnancy. But how did you feel, and what were you doing in those later stages of the pregnancy still to keep active, keep your heart rate going, keeping the lungs going, and stay healthy?
Unfortunately, I was unable to do much while I was pregnant.
This is great.
It's just unbelievable.
This really is.
Max, what's going on? This is incredible.
I'm just thinking of Dean. One day I decided to run from San Francisco to Carmel.
Yeah,
one day I decided I'm not going to work out. I'm going to have this baby thing, do that, and then I'll do a marathon.
Are you related to Dean Karnazes?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, have you read his stuff? Because you got to write a book. I mean, his books sell, and this stuff would sell. Well, I couldn't really do.
I couldn't.
One baby and 11 months to marathon victory.
Incredible. Hey, so what's next on the schedule? What do you plan on doing from here? I mean, you build on it, right? I mean, you had a goal 3:30. You beat the goal on a tough course. What comes next?
Yeah, I think it's always about setting a fitness goal for yourself and always just trying to do a little better than what you did last time. So obviously I would like to be at 3:26 next time. I'm not sure what race will be at, but I'm doing a walk to benefit the March of Dimes and prematurity awareness and prevention of infant mortality in just a couple weeks. So that's my next one. And I want to give my husband a break for taking care of the baby for me while I'm out on 3-hour runs and nursing me while I'm all my ailments in the meantime.
Good stuff. This is
What if that's all going to be part of the next training? Twins next time, and then a marathon another 11 months after that. Because you got to beat yourself in the time before.
I mean, let your husband know, because this is crucial. This is crucial, right? We didn't have the defending champs from last year. We want the defending champs back next year. So don't get pregnant in this time. We need you back to defend that title. No, just kidding. She'll probably come in and go, yeah, first trimester, no big deal, and she'll be out there and smoke the race again. Was
that lady last year that was like 9 months pregnant or 8 months pregnant, right? That ran Chicago, I think, right?
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't hear that.
What you? Oh my God! I'll find the information for you.
Yeah. So, to talk a little bit more about the charity that you're involved in, why you're involved in it, and what drives you to get out there and run.
Well, I've always been a runner. I've always loved it. But I had a daughter that was born 4 months early who was able to stay with us for 8 months. So we got to stay with her. But unfortunately, she was still in the hospital. But she had very, very bad lungs. So it was really hard watching her just fight for every breath. So it just really taught me that your health is so important. And I'm so lucky to be able to run. So now it's just mentally, I'm just in a way better zone and feel mentally so much stronger than I ever have. And I just want to keep running because she was never able to. So
that's what makes your story so great. It's the kind of stories we try to get here on Living the Run. Great that you won, but more great that you're able to change that mindset to control and be thankful for your own body and something a lot of people take for granted. And thanks for being in here. And you got great spunk. great smile, great energy. Paul, we need to bring her around a little bit more often.
Yeah, let's get her in the pole vault or something else. We'll get her in the track season. You can't marathon every weekend, but you can vault every weekend.
Yeah. Folks, Sarah DeGeorge, your female winner in the SLO Marathon 2013. Again, thanks so much for coming. Sport the Living the Run tank top on one of your runs. We'll look for you out on the streets, and let those guys at Jaffa Cafe know we said hi as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Sarah. When we return, Tara Dube, second place in the 50-miler up at the American River this last weekend, works for Runner's Warehouse here locally. Our local females kicking butt, Paul Tarek, here on the Central Coast. Back in moments.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Tired of taking supplements when you have no idea if they're working or not? Frustrated by not feeling or seeing measurable results with your vitamins? Looking for a new job or a little extra spending money? Do you know anyone with headaches, chronic pain, inflammation, autoimmune disease, or any other malady they just can't shake? Come learn about a breakthrough product that is scientifically supported, plant-based, and is used daily all over the world to combat age-related disease. Learn how this product is the only one of its kind on the publicly traded market to address the fundamental causes of accelerated aging, otherwise known as oxidative stress. If you want to learn how to reduce inflammation, save money by eliminating 90% of your supplement regime, and provide residual income for your family, call 805-234-7816. No gimmicks, just hardcore science on free radicals, antioxidants, and oxidative stress finally being revealed accurately and honestly. Call today to find out more. That's 805-234-7816.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
Hey guys, Paul Tarek from Living the Run here. As a former Olympian, there is only one place myself and fellow athletes go when it comes to chiropractic care on the Central Coast. With 4 chiropractors in the clinic, SLO Wellness Center is the largest, most comprehensive group of docs in San Luis Obispo County. I began seeing Dr. Rex Stevens back in 2005 for spinal adjustments to help maximize my performance, minimize my injury, and allow me to compete at my best. When the difference between a win and a loss can be just a fraction of an inch, perfect alignment in all joints is essential. One of the great things about the team at SLO Wellness is no matter where I had an issue, whether it was my spine, my foot, knee, wrist, or shoulder, they were always able to help. This team, made up of Dr. Rex and Molly Stevens, Dr. Sachs, and Dr. Bandolo, is sure to help you reach your health and fitness goals too. If it's chiropractic care you need, go where I go, SLO Wellness Center. Check them out at slowwellness.com or call 543-8688.
We're back with Living the Run.
Welcome back to Living the Run here on ESPN 1280 The Ticket. Rex Stevens in with Paul Tarek. Paul, phenomenal interview. You know, Sarah DeGeorge, not only was it epic.
I was kind of waiting for her to break away and be like, nah, I'm just kidding, guys. This is what happened, and this is what I really did. But it really was, you know. Yeah, I had this baby and then did some training and went out and, won. You know, it's kind of the plan. But
great story. And, inspirational stuff. And, you see a mom who loses a child like that early, and she turns it into a positive. She's got a beautiful baby girl out there now, and you can see the glow in that girl's face. I bet she looked like that the whole time. I'm sorry I missed her out there. I wish I would have run the marathon, although I would have been behind her the whole way too, so I never would have seen that face. But she's glowing. Big stuff in studio. We haven't had a guest like that in studio in a long time. She lit this place up.
I'm betting the guys that were behind her, like at the turnaround that saw her coming back when she was grinning, they probably weren't too pumped to see her.
I love that comment she made where she was like, this guy behind me, I heard him talking, saying, there's a girl in front of me. Oh, she's fast though.
Yeah. There's a chick in front of me. Yeah, but he's like, oh, she's fast. Trying to make excuses like I'm hanging in there.
He's probably like on his cell phone talking to his buddies. Yeah, I'm just running this marathon. No, this chick's killing me here.
Hey, we're gonna have Tara Dube here on the phone in just a minute. She's employed for Runner's Warehouse, second place in the 50-miler. Big stuff.
I haven't been to Runner's Warehouse lately. Are they still doing the gait, the running, what's it called, like stride analysis, gait analysis?
Yeah, they still do that. They do a little bit of that. They put people on the treadmill, get them going with the shoes. Then they offer based on what they see there, pronation, supination, kind of toe runner versus heel striker. They try to get them into 4 or 5 different shoes. The one good thing they do, Paul, that I like is they're not pushing any one product. They'll put 5 or 6 different shoes that match a pronator. That match a supinator, and then you put them on and you choose. And, maybe it's the $80 pair, maybe it's the $120 pair, but they're not trying to shove one down your face.
They're not saying, oh, we got the most markup on this brand. We're going to go ahead and everybody's going to wear these, The one thing I liked about, what they do is, like you said, it's not an issue of, well, we're going to put you on this and I'm going to see your foot strike the side and turn out a little bit or turn in a little bit, whatever. Okay, where these shoes go away. They're going to talk to you about, okay, this is what you're doing. These are the kind of things you can do to correct it too. You're naturally going to run this way, but maybe it's a little more, it's more over exaggerated than you want. You can make some small changes to really improve your stride. And that's what you lose with these big box stores. You go to, I don't want to drop names on the air, but you go to one of these places, and unless you know what you're looking for, getting help there, is normally like, tooth and nail. It's tough.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And I think that's where now we see the specialties. You get into all those warehouses over there, whether it's Arts or Tennis Warehouse or
they're hiring people that are in the know with that sport and that industry.
Yeah, and the people compete as well, themselves. A lot of those employees are competitors themselves, top-level racers, elite runners, elite cyclists, elite tennis players. Makes a big difference when you're a customer and you don't really know. You're kind of coming in unknowledgeable.
Well, we kind of take it for granted. Here on the Central Coast, we got what, Tennis Warehouse, Runner's Warehouse. There's Tackle Warehouse over there, and I think Inline Warehouse is over there.
Yeah,
too.
Inline Warehouse too.
Whatever you want to. There is a local collection of knowledge, broad range of hobbies and sports, and you don't get that. I grew up just outside of Detroit and went to school in Michigan or up in East Lansing, and it was hard to find, if you wanted to. Of course, everybody in Michigan knows hockey, but outside of that, if you wanted to find a specialist, you really had to look for one. Here, we have them all collected in one area.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Those guys over there now, my older son has now played basketball, and he's played soccer, he's played baseball, and he's doing roller hockey. I'm telling you.
Are you looking for the one he's really good at? I mean, are you throwing darts here? What's going on? Is he just trying to expose him to all of them?
Exposure all the way. And I'm letting him choose. Here's the point. Out of all those events, roller hockey by far has been run the best. It's got guys from over there at that warehouse. These guys are coming over. They coach. They inspire.
Oh, you mean the
organized.
league and the team
league itself. It's unbelievable what they're doing over there. And, I know nothing about hockey, very little. I didn't play myself. But I can all you got to do is just take a look and you go, my gosh, this is as organized as it gets. The games are organized. The officials know what's going on. There's a lot of teaching, a lot of coaching. That's a good deal over there.
Well, I think what you get into with a lot of the mainstream sports is you have so many teams. It's just so diluted, that it's hard to get top-level talent coaching or helping out with each team. Whereas, in roller hockey or inline hockey, there's the talent's here, but there's only a couple. It's a smaller league than say like basketball or baseball, where there's 100 teams in St. Louis.
Yeah, no question about it. Hey, excited now here on Living the Run to have Tara Dube coming on. Tara Dube, she just ran. Paul, we just got done with our marathon, our 26 miles. We got Tara went 50 miles up at the American River, second place, or as your husband so eloquently puts, the first loser. Tara, how does it feel to be labeled the first loser?
Well, first of all, it's just something to have going on in our family that we joke about, and it's all in good fun. My husband and I both run ultras, and so we, fortunately, I guess, are about the same pace, and so we do a lot of our running together. So we weren't able to run this race together, but we just have a lot of fun with it.
Well, talk about that. I mean, when you start to get into these larger mileages, if you will, the 50s. We had Dean Karnazes on last week. He's talking Badwater 133, these types of things. You seem like you've got a ton of spunk, too. I've only talked to you now just a couple of times. How do you keep it mentally together? What are you thinking about during some of those painful moments, some of those alone moments out there on the course?
Oh, my gosh, so much goes through your mind. But I think, when I tell people, I race 50 miles, et cetera, and they're just like, oh, my gosh, what are you thinking about that whole way? Well, you can't think about 50 miles all at once, or you're going to drive yourself crazy, because it takes a long time to get there. And so I think really what most people do is they just focus on each aid station or the next goal that's in front of you that's more attainable.
Uh-oh.
This is 0 for 2 on the callers today.
Oh no. What happened to Tara? Let's see if we can get her back on the line.
That's a good point, though. What do you think about, because for me, like she said, you're thinking about the next aid station, but that's probably 10 miles away, 12 miles away, right?
Well, no, it's got to be. I imagine every course is a little bit different, but it's probably a little bit sooner than that. I just got to think, in these 50-mile marks, when you are out there, there's a lot of alone time. Yeah. When you talk about the SLO Marathon, and we kind of joked with Sarah about getting out in front and so forth, she's still seeing a lot of men. There's still people all along the course. But
no other women, that's the turnaround.
Yeah. But even then you get on the turnaround, you're seeing tons of people. But these other races, they're long. I mean, there's a lot of solitude that's going on out there, and you get your thoughts, and then you get your environment around you. So a little bit different scenario in these ultras.
Well, I think the mentality that a lot of the ultra people talk about is kind of like how I approach running. There's a lot of things going on in life, and at different stages of life. In college, certain things were really important to me, other things weren't. When things would stress me out, whether it was schoolwork or training or women, you go on a jog and you get that time to figure it out. You get the alone time to kind of sort through what's really important.
Hey, we got Tara back on the line. Hey, yeah, at first I thought maybe we offended you with the first loser phrase.
Oh my
you
gosh,
just hung
I
up
don't
on
even know
us. I mean,
where
what's
I
going
lost
on? Yeah, what's going on there? Well, Paul was he was saying, hey, when you talk about those aid stations, I mean, how far are they spreading them apart on a race like that? What can you be looking forward to? You pass one, and how much longer do you have to go before you see another one?
Well, at American River in particular, I think the longest stretch is about 8 miles, which is right at the beginning, and so that's not such a
this is oh boy.
Did we confirm that she's not still on the course,
Is she running? I mean, is there she's still at the American River, and that's why there's just no connection? Max, why don't we take a break, see if we can get her back after the break. Let's see if we can get Sarah was our runner, Tara Dube back on the line, 50-miler, took second place. She's got a ton of energy too, Paul. We want to try to get this interview if possible. So let's take a break, quick commercial break, come back, see if we can get Tara back on the line.
You're listening to Living the Run on ESPN Radio 1280 The Ticket.
Puma Aquatics team offers year-round swim programming for novice, recreational, and competitive swimmers. For 16 years, Puma has developed some of the fastest swimmers on the Central Coast, as well as the nation. Puma has 3 convenient locations to choose from, providing programming for all of San Luis Obispo County. Puma offers swim assessments for new swimmers on Tuesdays and Thursdays at the SLO Kennedy Club, Atascadero Kennedy Club, and Arroyo Grande High School. For more information about Puma Aquatics, check out pumaswim.org. Join the Puma Pride and challenge yourself to reach new levels in your swimming. Puma Aquatics, where pride, passion, and persistence pay off.
My name is Chris Randolph, and as a local track and field Olympic hopeful, I've been seeing Brian Quigley at SLO Wellness Center to help me with injury recovery during my season. Brian has not only helped me with some very extensive injuries, but has also educated me on the specifics of how my body moves when I compete. His knowledge and touch has helped me achieve personal bests in my competition and has also helped me in injury prevention. Becoming a wellness patient of his has helped me stop my injuries before they start, making time spent recovering shorter, leaving more time spent training for my goals. From injury prevention to wellness, Brian understands the patient and holistically helps them achieve their personal health-related goals. So check out Brian Quigley at peakperformanceslo.com and find him on Facebook and comment a response to this ad and get a complimentary 60-minute massage.
We're back with Living the Run.
Welcome back to Living the Run. Rough deal, Paul. Tara, I know, was going to be a big interview. Good interview. We'll try to get her back next week. Having some problems with the phones here on ESPN 1280. Not to worry. Lots to talk about. Always lots to talk about. Remember, CJ Silas show coming up next. I think they're talking Jackie Robinson stuff. A new movie coming out. Big topic. 2 free tickets, I think, at least, right? 2 free tickets being given out next on the CJ Silas show. What's that?
I think
22? No. They're giving out 22 tickets?
It's like charades. I love that. Well, come on in.
Yeah, let's bring in
on
CJ
in.
Silas.
I'm terrible at charades here.
She's got to
I'm
get in on
taking
the
a
show.
group with me to see the movie. We're going to be a big party on Friday.
There's only 21 tickets left
yeah,
now, guys. Did you hear the 21 tickets?
21 tickets. Paul
You
just
can come.
took up. Paul
You can
just took
come.
up one. Jackie Robinson,
Huge. My hero.
unbelievable.
What he did, not just for sports, but what he did for our country and the civil rights movement and giving people of color a chance to play team sports, getting into the military, on some of the first groups in the military on the front line. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and that's why he's my hero. We'll be talking about him all night long. And yes, 42 opens on Friday, and I'm taking a bunch of listeners with me to the first show Friday afternoon, and we'll be giving away tickets.
Friday afternoon, tickets being given away in just 15 minutes from 7 to 8. The CJ Silas show. I love it. CJ's always got energy. This is a big female thing going on here, Paul.
The moon and the stars aligning. Guys, are you listening? Get out tonight. Get out in the town. Dude,
get out
I
on
was
the
so
town.
terrible with charades. She was doing a great job, and I was like, It's a giraffe. I see a giraffe. Lion King.
Oh, if you've missed anything, Sarah DeGeorge, she lit up the studio. We had Tara Dube on the line. She would have smoked it. She was starting off hot, and then the line dropped her. But CJ came in, pitch hitting, came in, giving away those tickets next. It's a trifecta here at Living the Run.
Well, we're going to have to step down the energy level, and I wanted to talk to you about Monday's workout. We kind of brushed on it earlier.
Wait a minute. Speaking of a trifecta, Paul Tarek, Chris Randolph, and Rex Stevens out on the track at Cal Poly. I think the women beat us, Paul. We don't even have to. Do we need to get into this?
No, we definitely.
Okay, let's talk into the Monday workout.
We definitely need to get into this because I want to know what you were doing out on the track versus what we were doing, because I thought we were supposed to be working out together. The initial plan was we were going to run 400s. And after each 400, we were going to run, everyone was running a little bit different pace, but we'd run 400, stop, pull-ups, some abs, and you chose burpees. I myself like inchworms. I noticed you were dragging a little bit over there. I didn't want to say anything.
Max, Paul Tarek says that I'm dragging. As he shows up 25 minutes late to the workout, I've already done 5 laps, 5 sets of pull-ups, 5 sets of burpees.
I was just letting you get warmed up.
Then Tarek says I'm dragging.
But as a
and then get this, Max, he finishes his workout before me. I'm still going.
Efficiency.
I was about to say, Paul's going to claim efficiency 100% on that one. I just know how to do it in less time.
That's right. I do the work in less time. That's right. You're taking more recovery.
But CJ's not going to talk about this, but he's like, you're a Dodger fan, man. You show up late, you leave early to the workouts. This is ridiculous.
More importantly, what do you like about that? What do you like about the 400 pull-ups? What do you like about that workout that you think the general person? Because myself, the 400 I think is good if you're doing. I like a little bit shorter, maybe a 200 or a 250. But I love the running aspect and the pull up aspect. So you're kind of getting a full body exercise in there. It's more of like a whole body circuit as opposed to just going out and trying to run. Oh, I'm just going to go run for 25 minutes straight or 30 minutes straight. Our workout took what? Yours probably took 40, 45 minutes.
Yeah, 40, 45
Mine was
minutes.
in the efficient 20 to 25 minute range. But
you're an Olympian, Paul. I wasn't.
But
I get it.
I think the thing to talk about with that is, a lot of people struggle to run. I struggle to run 30, 40 minutes at a time. There's a lot of time to think. You start falling off pace. It just gets monotonous if you're doing it by yourself. When you break things up into circuits, doing a couple things that might complement each other, it's a lot easier and it goes so much quicker to get through. I got to get 5 rounds of this in, and it doesn't seem like a lot. But the whole point of going out running is what? Elevate the heart rate, right? And while your heart rate's elevated, you got push-ups in there, you got sit-ups, you got whatever you want to add in there, depending on what kind of shape you're in. I love those kind of circuit workouts. I'm just wondering what you think as a chiropractor or a doctor, what benefits somebody might get or what they might want to stay away from if they're going to make their own workout.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, it's a great question. I think one of the things that you're trying to look at there is the dynamic nature of the workout, involving different body parts, involving the aerobic system a little bit, involving the anaerobic system a little bit, moving upper body versus lower body. When we're doing pull-ups in different angles. We're not doing the same grip every time. When we're doing push-ups or burpees, we're jumping at different angles or using different angles of our wrists, our hands, our elbows, and our shoulders. And so we're trying to get a dynamic variety there. But it's also to try and not stay bored as well, Paul. And I think a lot of times when people get into a 35, 40, 45-minute routine, they tend to stay at the same pace, especially if they're using machines, elliptical machines and treadmills and so forth. They put it on 4.0, they go for 40 minutes, what have you. And eventually, mentally, that changes you as well. Sandy and I were talking a lot. Sandy Sachs, partner of mine, we were talking a lot about that on the run this weekend. One of the things about the SLO half marathon is what we did the half marathon. That's very interesting to us is that we run that faster than we run the City to the Sea. But if you looked at the course is much more difficult in the sense that there are far more hills. The elevation is much greater, and there's a lot of that to it. City to the Sea is a much flatter course, and theoretically you would think you'd run faster. We really talked about the mental aspect of that, and the difference on the SLO one is that there's a lot of changes. You started downtown, then you hit a hill at Johnson, so that was a change. Then you got out to Orchid, now you're in the Vineyards. That's a change. You come back down those hills and you get out to the train tracks and you're running the path behind Sinsheimer, change again. Then you get back to downtown, another change. And with those dynamic changes, you mentally do some different things, and it's almost like it just automatically elevates your pace, elevates your intensity, and that's one of the reasons why I do that type of workout on a Monday.
Now do you mean, with the slow one, do you mean the dynamic changes as the scenery, or maybe the incline, or the way the hills change, the way the course changes?
Absolutely both, physical and mental. So you're getting an environmental change, an environmental shift, as well as you're getting a physical change in intensity. Sometimes you're on an incline, sometimes you're on a decline, sometimes you're flat. And, it's good stuff. I think people don't create enough diversity themselves. The other thing, Paul, the reason I do that workout, and I often try to look for creative ways of working out, ways that you could do that anywhere. So if you were on vacation, if you were in a hotel, if you were staying wherever you were staying, you don't need equipment to do that workout we did on Monday. You could find a park, you can find a school, you can find anywhere to go and do those three things, or 3, 4, 5 different things. You did something a little bit different than me, and next person may as well.
The word you're looking for is better, not different.
Well, you always do it, but you always do it better than me. I don't worry about that. Again, I'm not.
It's not a workout measuring contest, Rex.
I'm not comparing myself to anybody else. Just myself, and happy with the workout I put in. Happy to have showed up on time. Happy to have left on time, and in that way, maybe I was better than you, Paul Tarek.
It's possible. It's funny you talked about putting together a workout that you can do any place. Because that's the big thing is I was lucky for a lot of years where my workout venue was pretty consistent. Wake up in the morning, work out, all day, come home at night, kind of thing. And I had the means to do that. When you have a family and a job and things are changing radically, you're not always in the same place at the same time. It's a lot harder to get into a routine, if you will. When things are changing like that. Harry Mara, Ashton Eaton's coach, my old coach, was a huge fan. We would get off the plane in Italy, or we'd get off the plane in Austria, and the first place he wanted to go, everybody else, let's go to the track, Harry, let's go to the track. He's like, nah, you guys go to the track. Harry and I would go find a local park, we'd find a local trail, and he'd walk off some distance while I'm stretching, and that's what we would do. We'd get a 3, 4, 5 minute jog, and then some sprint drills on the way back, and then walk back, and just BS, talk about the flight, what we're going to do for the meet, and then do that again. And we'd get 4 or 5 of those in. The whole thing would take maybe an hour, and I would feel great compared to the guys that just went to the track, who had to get off the plane and run to the track and do their thing. And by the time they finished, they're just so dehydrated from the plane and so wore out from traveling that now they've done their workout and they're just completely exhausted.
Yeah, and again, different things work for different folks, but you're making me think a lot about different movies that they've done that in. I mean, if you go back to remember Rocky IV, that's what they really tried to set up there was here's a guy training in a barn, having to try to figure out ways to get strong, to get fit, so forth. The other guy's got this gym with all the equipment, all the machinery. He's got this pre-programmed deal. Everything's out on a computer. 2 different types of training styles. Karate Kid, same thing, right? One bunch of guys are training in the studio.
You're not selling me on the credibility of the movies.
Yeah,
here,
the other guy's out, on the beach. He's practicing balance in a boat. He's practicing balance on, totem poles. He's waxing cars and doing different things. And, again, maybe corny Hollywood type stuff, but the idea is that you can take everyday things and make them into fitness molds and not have to go to a gym membership. Look, Paul, I've said this forever. People, they go to gyms because they think they have to. I cannot tell you how many patients walk through the door and I say, what are you doing for workouts lately? And they say, well, I'm not really doing much. I'm just hiking. And I go, is hiking not a workout? I mean, when did being outdoors, climbing up a hill not be good enough? But in their mindset, it's if you didn't go to the gym, you weren't really getting things done. And I'd like to argue the opposite way. I mean, the connection, the energy you get from being outdoors, you should be able to create a lot of body weight type things, not need equipment all the time. I mean, certainly, you're a decathlete, you're trying to you're going to use some equipment and so forth. But I'm talking about the average person for fitness and longevity, health and wellness, what we're trying to sell here on Living the Run.
And it's okay to get on some equipment every now and then, but I totally agree with you. If you can develop a body weight routine, whether it's single, how many people do you know that can squat 500 pounds, 400 pounds and can't do a single leg squat? I was one of those people, and I know a lot of people just like that. Can't do a single leg squat, but they're in the gym and they have 500 pounds on the squat bar and they're trying their worst technique ever to squat it. And I think where I saw the biggest benefits in my career was we started doing yoga, and that improved flexibility and improved balance. And then when flexibility and balance improved, now all of a sudden the things I wasn't able to do before, I couldn't it wasn't that I couldn't do them because of a lack of strength. I couldn't do them because of a lack of mobility. Now I could do those things. Now all of a sudden I'm able to strength train over a longer range of motion. I'm able to do things balance-wise that I wasn't. I had more awareness and more feeling in the ring, say for the discus. That's where I saw my biggest gains was when I was just really doing a lot of body weight stuff. Now it complemented the weights that I'd had previously and the weights that I was doing, but really flexibility. Yoga was a huge impact for me.
Yeah, let me get these in here real quick. I want to get in Ryan Joyner. He's not going to be able to join us from Athlon Elite, but we want to plug his Shape Up program starting towards the end of the month. Shape Up for this fitness. Check those guys out at athlonelite.com. No, you're right on, Paul, there, and I think that you as a decathlete, you understand multi-dimensional, very dynamic workouts. The average person doesn't. As I was watching the marathon this weekend and, running past a lot of people and just kind of looking at the different varieties of people out there, that's what's so great about this is you run past so many people because on your way back, there's a ton of people going up the hill while you're going down the hill. And then, of course, the really fast people are coming down the hill while you're running up the hill. But it's a great deal.
I love how you set that up. You pass a bunch of people, and then when you're coming down, they're all still going up.
Well, Paul, it makes me feel good. When I go out with you and Rando, I never pass you guys. I'm always trailing. So for me to pass somebody was a big deal. It helped my confidence, made things positive. But, it's an amazing thing. I won't forget, again, and we had, amputees out there. We had some older people. We had people that were grossly overweight, shuffling along. I saw one guy that just struck me, and I don't know why. He was about, I guess I do know why, but 6'6", 6'7", probably.
Well, that's probably why he's Jad.
Yeah, probably just under 400 pounds. Shuffling along in this thing, got a good high five from him. It was pretty inspiring. And, my thought there was, Paul, that, hey, this guy maybe 6 months ago was 500 pounds. Maybe he was 450. I don't know. And maybe he was on the couch and he couldn't hardly get up. And now he's out here. He's shuffling along. And this is the start to a dynamic workout. This is where running, to me, again, beats everything else, is that you can do it anywhere. Anyone can do it at any time. They just need shoes, shorts, and a shirt.
You proved you don't even need shoes today.
And I proved you don't
grass.
need shoes. You just need a pair of socks. You can get out there. Look, we're not recommending it per se, but
as a chiropractor, I don't recommend not wearing shoes.
Yeah. But it was a good workout out there. The wind stayed down. We didn't talk too much about it, but the wind stayed down pretty good for this marathon. It was a great weekend, Paul. Another chance to inspire. I'm stoked about these next couple weeks, Paul. Next week we got Winter Vanecki. She's been on twice with us. She's the youngest girl ever to win the marathon or to run a marathon in Antarctica. Again, she's doing all 7 continents in the same year.
It's a short list.
Oh, this girl is great. And then we got the kids from the Grizzly Academy. I tell you, talk about inspiring. These kids ran this last week. They were pretty funny. It was almost like they were doing one of the, do they call them Indian runs? I don't know if that's politically correct anymore. But anyway, where...
Sure, why not?
Yeah, where they're just kind of jogging. Well, one kid just takes off.
Yeah, you run from the back to the front, and then you get to the front, and then the whole line jogs at the same pace.
Paul, one kid passed me 6 times during the race. I mean, it's hilarious. He's like...
How long was this line?
I don't know. He'd run past us, and then all of a sudden, boom, he'd fade back. And then, 2 miles later, this kid comes sprinting.
And you're yelling at him, figure out a better pace.
So these are huge guests next week. Grizzly Academy, Winter Vanecki. You're not going to want to miss us here on ESPN 1280. Again, find us on Facebook /Living the Run. Find us on livingtherun.com. If you're missing these interviews, warm heart from that Sarah to George. For Max Woodcock, Paul Tarek, I'm Rex Stevens here on Living the Run. Stay tuned for the CJ Silas Show.